What's up, everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video part today. I am so excited because of this video, we're gonna be taking a look at an anime that I cannot believe I let this one slide. Delicious in Dungeon, and oh my god, this show is pretty good, and it does something that I rarely see in fantasy anime, which is, what are we eating tonight? So to provide a bit of context, the show focuses on a group of adventurers who are on a rescue mission to save their friend who got eaten by a dragon. Now, some of you are probably wondering, wait, if that person was eaten, why are we saving them in the first place? Well, there's this logic that the dragon's stomach takes weeks to digest, so if our group of adventurers can reach the lower depths of this dungeon, slay the dragon, rescue the friend, they'll be able to save her before she's fully digested. And I know this anime was made by Studio Trigger, but watching our characters go deeper and deeper into this dungeon, it really reminded me about Made in the Abyss, which brings me to a very important point that we will reach. But anyway, right from the get-go, our human, elf, and hobbit encounter a dwarf who's practically the Gordon Ramsay of dungeon cooking, and episode 1 sets the stage as we see this dwarf cook up some crazy dishes. And from there on, we watch these characters encounter various monsters in this dungeon, and with every monster we encounter, it gives our characters an opportunity to cook up some really crazy dishes. What's also funny is that there's a prophecy where whoever defeats the final monster in this dungeon has the right to be the king of the dungeon. So to have these characters practically speedrun this dungeon in the span of a week, it's pretty funny because while other adventurers are dying left and right, these 4 characters are practically eating like kings. And that's another thing that surprised me, was that this anime has some pretty good humor, because throughout the series, the chemistry between our adventurers is what made me forget that I was watching a fantasy anime. And the reason why this is so funny is because it is so relatable, given how we all have those sort of people in our lives who are either picky eaters like our elf and hobbit characters, and then we have those who are very enthusiastic like our human and dwarf character. Now for me, I'm more of an enthusiastic person, because when it comes to food, the weirder it looks, the more I want to try it. Which makes me sad, because a while back there was a pop-up cafe in Tokyo that dedicated their whole menu to dishes similar to what we see in the anime, and damn, they looked really good. But anyway, going back to this story, a lot of it felt like I was watching Made in Abyss, because both shows share similar qualities, where we establish this world that is hidden beneath the surface of the earth, and the more we venture in, the more we start to encounter weird monsters. And to help shed some light in this atmosphere, we do have some funny lighthearted moments that often make us smile. However, like Made in Abyss, this show is not afraid to go dark when it needs to. Best examples at the end of episode 11, where we had this incredible action scene followed by some really funny moments, and right when things are settling down, the final shot of that episode made my jaw drop, to where I looked at my brother and was like, holy crap, that took my breath away. And from there on, the show decides to dive into more heavier themes like survivor's guilt, while at the same time giving us some dark magic. And speaking about that, throughout the series, we've been introduced to all kinds of magic from our elf character, but once we get a taste of dark magic, this fantasy anime almost becomes like a horror movie. At the same time, we're also teased as to who the real villain is, and oh my god, when they make their big debut, it essentially becomes a bloodbath. And without giving away any spoilers, I will say I may have went a little nuts during that scene, because there were a couple of times where I was cheering, yes, 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 kill these stupid idiots. Because honestly, one of my favorite things about fantasy anime is watching these so-called adventurers get destroyed, which is one of the reasons why I love Goblin Slayer so much. So even though the first half of the season is happy-go-lucky, once we reach the halfway mark, that's where things start to get serious. But even though we start diving into dark magic and into heavier themes, at its core, this show is about food and coming together. Which got me thinking, no matter what differences you and I may have with our taste in anime, sports, or even politics, there is one thing that we all have in common, and that is our love for food. Whether you are a vegan, a vegetarian, or even a pescatarian, everyone loves to eat their favorite dish. I mean, honestly, who doesn't love food? The only people who don't love food are pretty much skeletons at this point. So anyway, I had a lot of fun with this anime because it gives us a different look at the fantasy genre by allowing us to come together, share a couple laughs, and enjoy the meal these characters have made. And at the same time, this show honestly feels like a game of Dungeons and Dragons, where we have our human, who is the assault class, the elf, who's our mage, and our little hobbit, who's the thief. And instead of having a bard in the group, we actually have a cook. So if you're looking for something to binge tonight that not only takes you to a magical world, but also gives you a sense of what people are eating in this world, I highly recommend you watch this show. Well, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. That'll be an overall review for Delicious in Dungeon. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button so you can always update from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.